A family in eastern P.E.I. spent their summer vacation taking part in a project looking for the destructive Spruce Budworm. Liam and Cameron Kelly and their mother, Kelly Conway, are part of a program called Budworm Tracker. The $18 million federal project is tracking the insect using citizen scientists in 6 eastern Canadian provinces and Maine. The last outbreak of the Spruce Budworm on P.E.I. was 35 years ago. But already millions of hectares in Quebec have been destroyed, and the budworm is heading east again. The insect feeds on the needles of balsam fir and spruce trees, often killing large areas of forest. There were 25 traps placed across PEI this summer, including the Kelly's Trap on the Surrey Line Road. All of the moths they trapped will be sent to Drew Carlton of the Canadian Forestry Service in Fredericton, who will confirm whether or not they are the Spruce Budworm. Island Morning's Nancy Russell headed into the woods to find out more.
I'm Liam Kelly and I'm 14.
I'm Cameron Kelly and I'm 11.
Cameron and I are tracking and monitoring the Spruce Budworm population in this area.
We've been doing it all summer.
How many times a week do you come out here?
About 3 times. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. It's a green plastic pail with a female spruce budworm pheromone on the top that attracts the male spruce budworm into the pail. The budworm is what we're looking for, but the moth is what we catch. Because if we see the moth, then we know that the spruce budworm was here.
Hi, I'm Kelly Conway. I'm Liam and Cameron's mom. We started seeing a count in the middle of July, and we have seen counts through to the first week of August.
What happens with the moths that you collect?
You have to be really careful. All moths, just taking them out of the trap too, careful not to touch them with your hands. The moths go into a brown paper bag, sealed up, tagged, and they go into a freezer right away.
So you've had them in your freezer all summer?
Yes, we have.
That's part of science, I guess.
Sure is.
What has been interesting about doing this project for you?
Just seeing the moth.
Tell me, what does it look like?
Looks like a normal moth, but like smaller.
What color?
Brown.
Only Drew will confirm that it is in fact the spruce budworm moth. But we have counts ranging from 1 to 4 moths per trap. So from the middle of July on to the first week in August.
Fred Chivery, Surrey Area Watershed Coordinator.
What does it mean to you to have a family like this taking part in the project?
It's perfect. It's citizen science, and kind of came along and we immediately thought of Liam and Cameron, because they've been great volunteers with us and other projects we're doing before, planting trees and doing things of that nature. And they live only probably about a quarter of a mile from our office, and we knew that they would be keen on this, and they would, once they started, they'd keep it up. They're that type of kids. So, and what a great opportunity for kids to learn their first introduction to like collecting science data.
And what does it mean having the samples? They still have to be verified, but that there could be spruce budworm here.
Not good news. An area in Quebec, the Baie-Comeau area in Quebec, there's an area in that part of Quebec, if you can visualize about half the size of New Brunswick, that's already devastated. Then they moved into the Gaspé Peninsula, and they're hitting into northern New Brunswick right now. So the idea of having these traps all out to Atlantic Canada would kind of give a clues to scientists in terms of the movement of those here particular type moths. And quite honestly, I didn't think that we'd get any this year, and I was shocked to hear that they got some. So they're here. What we're going to do about it, I'm not sure. What can we do about it in Prince Edward Island? It's not like large hectares of straight forest where you can take planes in and fly and spray for it or anything of that nature. So it'll be kind of like we were going back in the 80s and 90s when it hit here before. There's going to be a lot of dead trees in PEI.
And why is it important to continue this project next year?
That's the whole thing about science, is that you can't draw good conclusions unless you have the data to draw conclusions. And the fact that we can do this in a bigger scale, another year, maybe more people involved, it's just going to give us more information. And these research scientists, they know of ways of looking at this and applying models and analysing, and it could turn into something very positive in the future in terms of how we may be able to stop them.
We have a trap on the Surrey Line Road, so our contribution, it's going to be very exciting to see where our trap sits with the numbers that we have comparatively to the other traps on the island. And yeah, exactly what Fred said, the more data we can generate, the more confident we are about what we have and what we do next. And we're learning every day. So it's just wonderful. I'm excited about next season.
Liam, why did you want to be part of this project?
I was a part of the Surrey Area Wildlife Federation, and I just thought it would be cool a way to do something in the summer.
Why is it important to have citizen science?
It gives people a knowing of what's going on around them and what everything's doing.
What was it like when you saw your first moth?
It was exciting, but it was also pretty weird that it was actually here, that we actually had counts of it. Because whenever Drew was talking about it, he said he wouldn't be surprised if we didn't even get any the whole season.
And then you got them?
Yeah.
And did you let him know when you got them?
Yeah, we did. We sent him an email.
Cameron, what's it like for you being part of this project?
It's cool.
Why? What's cool about it?
We get to see them.
We're talking about Eastern Canada. This is something that we're part of. I mean, the devastation is extreme. I mean, what got us hooked on it is the fact that when we first visited with Drew over at the Wildlife Federation, we saw some visual aerial photography of forests devastated by the spruce budworm. And we were my mouth was wide open. Just the millions of hectares of land. And now we're just taking steps to try to see what we have here in our Surrey Line Road and how does that compare to other regions in Atlantic Canada and beyond.
What do you think of your boys putting in the effort all summer, 3 times a week to come out here?
Wonderful. Sometimes it's hard to wake up early and we even had to go away on vacation and we had to have their dad, open and close the trap all week. So yeah. So it took some effort to orchestrate all that. Yes, it did.
It's pretty freaky to think about it. It's so small, but it can cause such a big picture in what it can do.
Why do you want to continue being part of this project?
Like I said, it's something to do, and gives me a little bit of exercise, so...
Do you like being part of science?
Oh, yeah.
Well, thank you very much for showing me your trap.
You're welcome.
Oh, thanks so much.
And you can see a video of Liam and Cameron Kelly out with their trap on our CBC P.E.I. Facebook page. We've also tweeted a link to the Budworm Tracker website. It is simply budwormtracker.ca.